Welcome back, fellow gamers. I want to talk to you today about Watch Dogs 2. So now that I've just finished the game on my live stream, you might have seen it, I wrapped up the last mission of the game. I felt it was a good idea to give a, post-wrap, post-completion feeling and review of the game itself and what I think of it. I'll try to be as brief as possible, lay out the good, lay out the bad. Start with, a good, was the graphics and setting and environment of San Francisco is amazing. You can stand on a street corner and things happen. People get in and out of cars, they converse with one another, they get into altercations, police will arrest other NPCs. It feels like the city is alive, it's colorful, it's great. I thought that was amazing. It blew me away, the amount of detail that Ubisoft put into the game. Another plus was the voice acting. The voice acting in this game is incredible. So hats off to everybody involved, from the actors to those in casting, everything. It was well acted. The mission design as well was fantastic. I thought that each mission that I played was fun. Regardless of what the mission was itself, it was a joy to play through. Stealth is really the best way of playing, and going a non-lethal route fits in well with the theme of who Marcus is as a character. And I thought that was really good thematically, but not only that, it was a real change of pace from Watch Dogs 1, where playing as Aiden Pierce, I would go in with my destroyer sniper rifle and just start picking people off. And definitely, most of this game I used the stun gun, or I hacked my way through missions, so that was a real joy. It felt like Ubisoft really took advantage of the hacking mechanisms that were in place. Both the quadcopter and the RC car, I don't remember what it's called, the jumper. So you really took advantage of those throughout the game. And that was great, they were well utilized. Now obviously a lot's been said about the multiplayer not working at launch. They got that fixed fairly early, so kudos to Ubisoft for fixing what was essentially the main draw for a lot of people, myself included. But here comes the, first negative, and I think would be probably the most glaring negative I found, is the design choices that Ubisoft has made for online multiplayer. Now I'm going to touch on two specifically. One is the hacker vision. Hacker vision, I think, is the worst thing to have in an online environment. I have had instances where I've hacked, when I hack people, they just make a beeline to where I'm at. They know where I am. Now I have gotten around this, where one time I was in Silicon Valley and I was running around the house and the hacker was running around because he knew where I was, and when he would change directions, I would change directions, so he would change directions again. It got me the win, and what else am I supposed to do there? I'm not going to let the guy just hack me, so we just kept playing Ring Around the Rosies until my completion reached 100, and that was the end of it. Not a fun experience at all. And on top of that, even the video that I made, where I was, trying to say, I was saying 5 things that Ubisoft could change to make online hacking better or more viable long term. You saw it. Somebody hacked me, I turned on hacker vision, and it was so obvious where the hacker was. Yeah, he was in plain sight in the field behind a tree, but it was no effort. It was low effort is what it was. Turn it on, look around, there he is. Now, I could always be I'm not going to use hacker vision, but that puts myself in an unnecessary disadvantage for no reason. And I feel that doing away with it and creating that even playing field would go a long way. Now, the second thing about online, this one doesn't only apply for hacking, but definitely for bounties, is hacking vehicles. I don't think that players should be able to hack other players' vehicles. Hack the vehicles around in the environment. I envisioned it when I first saw that was a feature, was, let's say you're barreling down, you've discovered who the hacker was in your game, he's taking a car, he's bolting, you're let's say rushing across the Golden Gate Bridge, and there's a armored vehicle that's just cruising by, the bank vehicles. You make that swerve into the other player. The other player's now got to dodge through traffic. He's putting cars to a stop, so that you've got to swerve. I thought that was more action-packed and exciting, and that was certainly a better possibility than, oh, well, he's going to get into a car, so I'm just going to keep spamming it so he stays in place. No, it's boring. It makes it so that when you discover a hacker, the game's pretty much over unless you do a bit of running around. And while that in itself could be fun, the real joy for hacking was when you found that hacker, or you were found, there was that part 2 of the online game where it now became a chase where you'd fishtail the other guy and you'd be going through the streets of Chicago. I thought that was, for me, the best part of the game, which has been taken out. And these are 2 supposed design choices. So I would love for Ubisoft to switch those around. Now, there are people that are saying that the game is great the way it is and that things shouldn't change. I really disagree. For me, long term, like if you're trying to just crunch out wins, yeah, okay, fine, yeah, maybe that is good for you. But I'm looking at this of, I want to play Watch Dogs 2 until Watch Dogs 3 comes out. That's what I did with 1. I kept playing it. I kept hacking people. I had a great time. But now that I'm done the game, what's my incentive to continue playing the game? Well, online hacking just essentially becomes a hacker vision fest where let's see where the person is. Oh, if you can't see it, then let's walk around a bit till we can see him, throw the quadcopter up, or trying to avoid him because I see him, I run around the opposite side of a building. That's not fun. It's not gonna, I don't want to hack right now. B is for if I want to do the actual bounty missions. I've done a few, but they've only lasted about 20 to 30 seconds each because I just hack somebody's car and they go sideways. And I need to hack them because if I want to get close to fishtail them, they just hack my car. So I'm forced to use the hack car on them instead of maybe, throwing a police cruiser right into him or slowing down traffic in front of him. It makes it so that the 2 to 3 minutes it takes me to get into a game is not worth the 20 seconds for me to play the game. So in this case, why am I going to play the online hacking any longer? Because I've now beat the game. I want to play it longer, but it's not worth the time investment for me to get into games for them to last so little, or for them to be so uninspiring as to run around in circles around a building for a minute, 2 minutes, whatever it takes. So that's my biggest gripe. Now, I'd say going back to the story, I didn't find that there was a singular story. It felt like each mission or each branch was a really self-contained story that each had a conclusion, which was nice, but it never really felt like in large engulfing story. I never felt that everything tied together for a certain event. And a lot's been said about the main antagonist. I agree, it wasn't that great of an antagonist. Didn't really feel it. In Watch Dogs 1, I really, you felt like you were working up to something with Aiden. You're trying to avenge, a family member, despite it being a second removed almost. It was his niece. So it's like, I didn't feel that connection. And yeah, what DedSec was fighting for was morally right, but they never approached it serious enough for me to really take them seriously. Now again, that's not to say the acting wasn't good. Like the actors were given their roles and they did it perfectly. Connecting with Marcus, I felt him in another environment would be great. I would love to see him outside of DedSec, maybe going some type of other adventure or whatever. I do miss Aiden Pierce, so I would like, if there's going to be a Watch Dogs 3, incorporate Aiden Pierce. I love Aiden Pierce. I know a lot of people said he was just like Batman essentially, but I love the way Aiden Pierce, like his vigilanteism, like that for me really made it well. And especially if you want to go on a shooting rampage, that's more his style. Whereas Marcus, he's a 20-something guy who's, living a carefree life, and all of a sudden he's gunning people down with machine gun, sniper rifles, and grenade launchers. Didn't really fit. But that's essentially my take, my pros and cons. I don't know, like, again, I'm probably not going to pick this game up again unless there are changes made to the online multiplayer. And that's not me saying, oh, change it or I'm not playing. It's just I'm not going to have the fun of playing online with this state of the game. If they change those two things, I will play that like till Watch Dogs 3 comes out. It's fun, it's engaging, they just have to retweak, but I don't even think that's going to happen because according to them on the Reddit, these were design choices that were consciously made. They're not like they were mistakes or anything, so it's disappointing. It's just the way it is, and if you plan on picking this game up with the intention of playing multiplayer, if you like the first one, you're probably not going to like the online play for this one here. It's just it's very close to being similar, and that's I think the most frustrating part. It's that they took what worked and applied it, but they took what's great and extracted it and removed it from the game. And they replaced it with, you know, the quadcopter. That's fine. I'm cool with people having quadcopters to discover you. Pick it up if you're looking for a fun single player, and maybe if you want to try Watch Dogs 2 for its multiplayer, just know that it could be a lot better. It's not bad. It could just be a lot better. So there you have it. I'd love to know your opinion on Watch Dogs 2. If you've played it, if you've beat it, let me know what you thought. What do you feel about the multiplayer? I feel like that's my biggest sticking point. So I would love to hear what you think about Watch Dogs 2 multiplayer. Let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to check out some of our other videos, you can do so right here. And also, if you'd like to subscribe, you can do that right here. And that will let you know when either we go live during our live streams or when we upload new videos. I'd like to thank you for making me a part of your day. And until next time, good gaming.